Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, and how you guys all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and this is my review of this past week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, the February 21st, 2025 edition, and it took place in New Orleans, Louisiana. As it's now been officially announced, it will be home next year for WrestleMania 42. So that was made official by The Rock on this week's episode, as well as an interesting turn of events as The Rock last minute announced an appearance on this show. What did he do for this show? We're going to leave that for last, because I do kind of want to go more in depth about that promo for sure, and where I think it's going. I do think this was kind of a last minute change, because there are a lot of fans that are complaining that WrestleMania 41 doesn't have a big oomph yet. And although I think it's kind of getting a little late to try to add in a big money match, Roman Reigns and The Rock, I do feel like this was done to help save the build for WrestleMania and make it a little bit more spicier. Of course, it could get better, of course, after Elimination Chamber, but whatever. Other than that, again, SmackDown to me just continues to suffer a little bit, because there's not too much that's really interesting me right now. And again, the 3-hour format just isn't working. I mean, there's a few things I like, but this format, it's not working for me. I just really wish it was like Raw, where Raw can basically run however long it needs to run. And the pacing when it's like that is just so much better than when you have a set time like this. Again, I said it from the beginning. SmackDown needs the roster. And although they had some transitions, I just feel like it's not enough, in my opinion. It's not enough. So, we're going to basically breeze through everything else. And like I said, I'm going to leave the Rock promo for last. And talk about where I think that could be going. The show opened up with Cody Rhodes running into Nick Aldis backstage. The main event was originally supposed to be apparently a 6-man tag with Cody Rhodes, Braun Strowman, and Damian Priest versus the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Sol Sikoa, and Tama Tonga. But Cody Rhodes got pulled aside beginning of the show, and he said that it's a directive from the final boss. He wants to see him in the ring later on tonight. I'm like, okay, he basically kind of, forgave Cody and endorsed him. What does he want this time? We opened up with a match with Drew McIntyre and Jimmy Uso, which was fine. But to my surprise, Jimmy Uso won the match. And afterwards, Drew snapped. He was going to Claymore Jimmy's head to the ring post, but they stopped him from doing that, but he still Claymored him in the middle of the ring as well. I'm not sure what that's really going to lead to. I mean, again, other than the fact that Drew is in the chamber, I have a feeling he's not going to win, but I like that he's a favorite to win. But I'm not sure what the point of Jimmy Uso being Drew McIntyre was here, and what it really was going to do for him. Because I still think, at best, if Jimmy has a match at WrestleMania, it's going to be for the United States Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura is defending against LA Knight next week on SmackDown. But I feel like if they're going to do Shinsuke and Jimmy, it's got to be more of a tease. And two, he's beat a main event star in Drew McIntyre. Some people may want to see him go after a world title, but I don't know. Weird booking decision there, but again, we'll see, of course, where it goes. Sikoa arrived, and he runs into Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, and they're like, hey, what happened last week? Sol says what happened with Tama Tonga last week when he accidentally hit him with the spike. He said it was an accident, and Jacob Fatu said, all good, but he wants to keep it 100. If it wasn't an accident, Sol would be standing here right now. And Sol says he wants to be in the corner for their match. But Jacob doesn't want it like that. He says the two of them have been running things, and he wants Solo to be his teammate tonight. And Sol's like, Jacob, that's why I love you. And he goes to talk to Nick Aldis to get it done. So, of course, it was official later on in the night. They did have the tag match. The two of them teamed up. But, of course, they teased some more dissension. We had some footage with R-Truth running into Carmella Hayes, saying they have a big tag match. And it says he's never seen Melo before. Truth says him made the match. And then the Miz rolled up and says, I'm him. I'm the one who made the match. Miz says that they're Melo don't Miz, which, Carmella Hayes really isn't, that fazed by it. But then he says, well, who's Truth's tag partner? Truth says he knows a Louisiana legend, and he's gonna go talk to him. And Miz tries to do a catchphrase, but Melo ain't playing it. They were teasing. Well, also there was a hype reel for all the participants in the chamber, and also a hype reel for Zelina Vega. I guess she's being repackaged. By the way, at the end of the review, I do need to also address other piece of news also in WWE, but I'll do that at the end. But I liked how R-Truth was basically teasing the heck out of Ricky Saints. Well, that's his new name in WWE now, Ricky Saints instead of Ricky Starks. I really thought the tease is that his mystery partner was going to be Ricky Saints. But instead, it was Louisiana Knight, LA Knight. And Truth put some Mardi Gras beads on him, and they just went to have the tag match, which is fine. Just some goofy moments with R-Truth, such as him laying in the middle of the ring, not even being pinned. Him, for some reason, exiting the ropes and act like he was still teaming up with Miz. A couple little spots there, but Melo Dolt Miz did win with a Codebreaker Skull Crusher finale combo, which I thought looked pretty cool. And afterwards, they clearly are like, okay, maybe this could work. So, I guess that's a thing now. I kind of like it, though, because it is starting to give Carmella Hayes some more victories. I'm a little worried for a bit since they've been having them lose a lot, but, maybe this is going to start giving him more of a serious direction. We'll have to wait and see. Tiffany Stratton then came out. She said she's not coming for Charlotte's Legacy WrestleMania. She's coming for the spot she desires the most. Top girl in the WWE. Nia and Candice come down, and Nia makes threatening moves about if you even make it to WrestleMania, blah, 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 this and that. And it's set for Candice LeRae versus Tiffany Stratton, which Tiffany did win with the prettiest moonsault ever. Afterwards, though, she was attacked by Nia and Candice. Trish Stratus came out again to make the save because they're having a tag match at Chamber. But eventually Nia Jax did do the Annihilator, dropping on top of a stacked Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. And then afterwards, when they go to leave, Charlotte comes out and gets up and gets to the ring and points at the WrestleMania sign over Tiffany Stratton. It looks like they're trying, because I keep wanting to call Tiffany Stratton a babyface, but I'm not 100% convinced yet that she is a face. But I feel like they are melting the heel look off of her, I feel like, with how she cut her promos and kind of more so acknowledge the crowd, like, yeah, I know, but blah, 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 this and that, whatnot. So I can't quite say yet that Tiffany Stratton's a face. But I think it's coming. But we'll see, of course, what happens. Cody Rhodes chats with Damian Priest backstage. And Priest tells Cody respectfully, when I win the chamber, I'm coming for you. And Braun Strowman rolls up and says that he had Jacob Fatu dead to rights, and if it weren't for Solo, he'd be in chamber. Damian says he was just faster to punch the ticket, and they talk about working together in the main event, as they were going to take on the Bloodlines, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. We also get a hype reel for the women's chamber match before we get an interview with Bianca, Belair, and Naomi. Naomi says she doesn't think she knows Liv and Raquel injured Jade, and they talk about how they're going to get their revenge on Monday and go to win at Elimination Chamber, and one of them will beat Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. That match on Monday I think they're going to be dropping the tag titles on Monday, and maybe we do get a reveal as to who was attacked. Still hoping it's Bianca, especially the way she's acting and all these little hints she's throwing. But, Triple H likes to swerve us, so who the heck knows? Alexa Bliss has a promo saying that WWE has changed a lot while she was gone, but the talent have the same insecurities. She's going to turn the Elimination Chamber into her playground. Liv and Raquel attacked the tag team champions during their entrance for their match, because they were supposed to do Naomi and Liv, but I think that got cut too because of The Rock. Basically, they just brawled to fill that spot up instead, at least make a little more sense, which I appreciate, of course. And then afterwards, Nick Aldis berates Liv and Raquel and tells them to get off his show. And of course, they're just like, and they walk away. Of course, they technically shouldn't have been there because they're not tag champs and the transfer window has closed, but who the heck knows. Chelsea Green Power for them roll up. It's like, since Naomi and Bianca were attacked, can we replace them inside Chamber? But all this is like, nope, not happening. And Chelsea was, of course, upset about that. She's, well, I picked out an outfit. And then Aldis tells her she'll be in action on SmackDown in Toronto next week. Against who? I do not know. This is The Rock's promo. I will wait until the end. DIY took on Pretty Deadly for the tag titles. I don't care. I don't give a single crap about Pretty Deadly. I love DIY, but Pretty Deadly, I don't care. And they're trying to make the baby faces, and I'm not falling for it. And then guess what? The match ends in a DQ because the Street Profits got involved. So is that going to be an excuse to get Pretty Deadly in a match at WrestleMania? Goodness gracious, I have zero interest in them. And in this tag team division, it just, oh my gosh, drives me nuts. But afterwards, the Street Profits do attack Pretty Deadly before they start attacking DIY. And then mostly Machine Guns make the save, but the Street Profits lay them out too. Kind of hope they give the Street Profits the belts at May. But I still think the match should just be DIY, Street Profits, and Motor City Machine Guns. No Pretty Deadly, no need for Los Garza, just those three teams. But they're probably not going to do that. Lovely. We also get a recap and another promos about the Sammy and Kevin situation. And then Braun Strowman and Damian Priest defeated the Bloodline in the main event, looking for, like, there's more teases of a breakup between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. But now let's talk about The Rock's promo. So, The Rock first announced that WrestleMania is returning to New Orleans next year. And then he also does a little when the Saints go marching in and immediately turns on the crowd by calling them STD-loving trailer park trash. He also came here to call out a man he respects and admires, the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes. Rock tells him the crowd's loving him. He's got to feel amazing and says a lot of people don't know that he and Cody have actually become really good friends since last year's WrestleMania. The last time they shared a ring was the Raw debut on Netflix, where he gave Rhodes flowers and put him over for carrying the company. And he said it, and he meant it. Afterwards, they drank tequila, had a good time, but he wanted to call Cody out here for something important. Cody's a great champion, and he knows that, and their moms have become good friends. And he puts a picture of them up on the Tron. It's been a pleasure becoming his friend, but he has to know a few things. He's been a great champion, but The Rock is on the board of TKO, and TKO owns WWE. A director of the board, and Ari Emanuel, has had an exchange with him where they bantered about maybe Rock doesn't own WWE, but he's the most powerful man in the company. And anyway, he wants Cody to be more than our champion. He wants Cody to be his champion. Cody, though, says he didn't expect the friendship or tequila, and says he thinks Rock, above all people, knows he's the fans' champ. Rock says he loves that about him, but he's talking about something bigger than just this. He knows Cody's goal is to make as many people around the world happy because he's that guy and everyone knows it. He's got 1 million of Instagram followers. The Rock has 500 million. That's no flex. But he just wants that for Cody. He wants Cody to be on the same level as him so he can open up doors and possibilities he never knew existed. Every dream he's ever had, he can make come true. Every dream of his wife and his baby. Their mama's boys and girl dads and lucky boys, and berates someone in a crowd for talking back. He then tells Cody that the one thing he has never had that he wants more than anything is a brother. That's what he wants Cody to be. Last year's goal was to face his cousin Roman Reigns for the world title. And when he came back, he talked Triple H and Nick Khan to try to make the match happen. And Cody said he ain't doing it and stood up to him and slapped him across the face in front of the world. Which no one does that and gets away with it. But that's why Cody's special. He talks about their dads standing together and looking down and says he doesn't want an answer tonight, but he wants Cody to talk to his wife and hold his baby, think about it, and then he'll want an answer from him at Elimination Chamber. He also wants Cody to know that the thing he wants more than anything in this world is that. Cody assumes he's talking about the championship, and Rock corrects him and says, "No, I want your soul." So, I know this definitely confused a lot of people. Like some other things on SmackDown, the promo kind of left me of like a we'll wait and see. It feels like that The Rock is still heel, and he's trying to make a corporate champion. From, for him to say that, he's his champion. This could lead to a Cody Rhodes heel turn. Or it could have an impact where if he says no to The Rock, Rock might grab someone else instead to kind of be Cody's worst nightmare. Which some people are wondering, will that be John Cena? I don't know. I would feel like, though, they would consider that if they are bringing in The Rock to help boost things for WrestleMania. Because it kind of needs a little bit of a boost. But, I don't know. Like I said, it kind of confused me a little bit. But again, like I said, I think it's more meant to have Rock having like a surprise protege of some sorts. And they're probably going to be the ones to go after Cody Rhodes. Which, of course, it was The Rock set up for a match at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns. But maybe next year. I don't know. I'm just starting to kind of give up on the idea of that being a thing. But, just want to mention that. So that's the review of SmackDown. I gave the show a C+. I forgot to talk about this, though, at the beginning of the review, though. This past Friday, it was announced that Carmella is no longer under contract with the WWE, as her contract expired and she is now a free agent. Personally, I'm not surprised they didn't renew her contract. My thing is because I heard in recent interviews she has been dealing with some nagging injuries since she gave birth to her child. So my thing basically is, if you're not going to be able to commit now, why sign a new deal? So, Carmella's free to do whatever she wants. I do feel like that she has a very likely chance of maybe coming back to WWE. But I'm not going to hold myself to it. Triple H right now, though, just I really feel like, despite the fact that, of course, he has discovered which stars, he has, there's some he's realized that he can't fix. And most of those are the ones that are getting released and whatnot. But, I do wish Carmella the best. I think there is, like I said, there's a good chance she could be back, but I feel like until she gets it figured out, there's no point in putting her under a new contract. So, but that's SmackDown, guys. Again, besides the Rock's Pro, which is more kind of like a wait and see thing, I gave the show a C+. C+ because there was some things on the show that interest me, but again, my thing is like I don't quite see the direction they're going with it yet, so I can't fully judge it. But that's neither here or there, not anywhere. What are your guys' thoughts on SmackDown? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. Also follow me on Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. Until then, guys, I'll check it out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just in pain, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!